$50 US silver is almost there. Can you feel it? Do you think we will hit $50 today? I tell you what, if we hit $50 today in the next hour or so, we're going to have the biggest dance party. There's going to be a big dance party, but could it happen in the next hour? Also, I'm back in TOSHI. We'll talk about that too, and do some precious metals, crypto analysis, all that kind of stuff. If you're watching this on the replay, use the time codes below to go to your favorite pub. But if you're watching live, you get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. Let's grab let's do it. We really should do it. Let's do it right now. Grab your tasty beverage. We will do a synchronized slurp. You grab a tasty beverage. I grab my tasty beverage. We're going to slurp it to potential $50 all-time high silver in the next hour. Wouldn't that be awesome if we did it live? Whatever you're drinking, tell me in the comments right now. The rule is you must slurp it audibly. It's the slurp heard around the world. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Good to see so many funky people. I was a little bit late to the party today. I was just frantically doing the hair. I am Joe Main, a stacker of precious metals since 2010, stacker of crypto since 2013. I do this show, multiple pre-recorded stuff every single week about precious metals, stocks, crypto, that kind of stuff. And I go live on Tuesdays and on Thursdays publicly. Also go live privately on the Silver Investor Club. I'll put a link somewhere below. Let's take a quick little shout out time, shall we? GMS, cool cats, like and share, says Niels Hahn Dynasty. Yes, please. I do totally agree. Or invest in, correct. GMS, awake early enough today. Dang daylight savings. Yes, it is 8:30 a.m. in other parts of Australia. What time is it wherever you are in the world? Did you know the show's brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, and Stormrake, stormrake.com, your full service cryptocurrency brokerage. Let's go over to here. Just the screen or just the screen and me? You want just the screen and me. You don't just want a screen, you want the screen and me. Let's go over here. Can you follow me over at It's Joe Main? So x.com/It's Joe Main. Could you do me a favor with that, please? It'd be really helpful to me. Why? Well, because you love me and you want to do that, but also because it gives me a chance to update my little thing here so I can get a little bit trendy on the old X as well. Let's take a look at silver unless there's any more people pouring into the show. Thanks to all the new subscribers, by the way. Absolutely great to see you. Morning, everyone, says Luke Kabasi. Oh, you're in Perth. You're in WA, aren't you, Mon? Ugh, I'm so sorry. Let me fix that lighting so everyone can see my beautiful face much better. Whatever, that'll do. Cool. Good to see you. Let's go over to talk about silver. Let's start with silver. Here is silver on the hourly time frame. Sure, we're at basically $49 US. We almost made it. Let's take a quick little look here. We had been talking about potential dips, and I did say, if it gets over certain levels, then that's not going to happen. Here's what we did. We had that move up to that 48.75, and then we dipped down to here. I think it was. So I was saying around about this time. I think this was before. No, this was after the dip. So we had this move here, and I said in a show, I think it was yesterday or the day before, we had that beautiful move right down to the zag zone right there. So I actually put that in a post. I don't think that was on a show. I didn't do a show yesterday, any kind of recorded content, but we got into the zag zone, okay, the normal support area, which you would expect things to find support at, and you need them to find support anywhere in that zone. It's sort of 1/3 to 2/3. That is 1/3 to 2/3 of a move. Okay, so that markets go up and markets go down, markets zig, markets zag. And so it went into the zag zone, hit it perfectly too, right in that sweet spot at $47.30. And after we broke up through right there at $48, I said, okay, I did a little post and saying, okay, it looks like there's another leg higher coming. We've seen that leg higher, which is great. And we've topped out at $49.50 something on this particular exchange, whatever, the CFDs on silver. Okay, we're almost there. Just be aware, we're not there just yet. Okay. And the more that we creep up, I'm not a doom boy on this at all. I'm just saying the more that we creep up on the kind of lowering volume, or particularly on the lowering relative strength index, the more we do that, then the more likely it is we are to see a larger dip. And we will see a larger dip coming really soon. Larger, maybe, $4, $5, something like that. It will come eventually. Do we hit $50 first before we do that? Maybe. Tell me in the comments, what do you think? But you can see here, rising price, right? Lowering or equal or lowering momentum. That's going back to here. This is great to see, though. We're creeping up and up and up. Just steam is rolling out right close at, like, it's gotten so close to resistance. The volume actually hasn't really broken out. We had a little bit of a test there on the volume. So the volume's flattening out. The relative strength index is lowering just a little bit or flattening out as the price is going up. So that means there's a divergence. What you really want to see for a healthy market now, I'm just talking on the 1 hour time frame, not talking about, future silver prices in, days and days or weeks or months to come. Okay, but you want to see the indicators go up in lockstep. The patterns should look pretty much the same. So if you're seeing a divergence in the patterns, then something's going on. You go, okay. So in the upward direction, you would say the steam is the buying pressure is starting to run out. But it's great to see they're at $49.50. Fantastic. Still got room to move higher. Cool. Just be aware around about here. At absolute major, the most ultimate resistance for silver ever possible at previous all-time high, 1980, 2011. Here we are right now, and in the last couple of months, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're now in our 6th straight month of green, okay? Nothing goes up forever, okay? Short answer. I'm not saying it doesn't break 50 and continue for a little bit. I'm just saying, just be careful around about here. Cool. Extremely overvalued on the daily time frame. Yeah, we've just had that spike up too. The thing I'll say about that spike as well, am I on the daily? Oh, I'm on the daily. Cool. That thing about let me start that again. The thing about that spike, it's also a decent spike as well. So more so says sellers are in control of the market. Maybe a little bit of a short-term blow-off, but it's looking fantastic over the longer term. And we are going to have a massive, all I just needed to do, can we just head up another $1? Just $1, please. And then in the next 45 minutes, roughly, that'll be really good. Then we can have our silver dance party. If it does happen overnight, then I will go live tomorrow. The day in which it does it overnight or it happens during that day, I'm going to have a massive silver live stream dance party, basically. It's going to be fun. We'll do a little dance. We won't do a massive dance. So yeah, looking good so far. Here's what I do like also about silver. Once again, you're watching Good Morning Stackers, where we talk about all things precious metals. We talk about Bitcoin and crypto too. I'll be talking about TOSHI, how I'm back in TOSHI. Okay. Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, yes. On that 1 hour time frame, here's what I do like. It is still maintaining those support zones. Okay. So we did that thing there. We got to the 0.5 right there, Fibonacci from this low and this high. Then we made a new low and a new high on the 1 hour time frame. And it also has bounced so far exactly off. Once again, the power of Fibonacci. People use this. Traders use this. That's why it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's why the numbers go to those general directions. But isn't it interesting how it found from this low and this high? Bang on it. Again, like spiked exactly down. What's that? $48.42. And this had a low of $48.42. There you go. From that low and that high. So that's good. I just need to see it creep above in order to be ultimately confident to say we're going to break 50 in the next, say, 24 hours roughly. We need to creep and hold. Yeah, it's right through that. Isn't that interesting? And it's right through that spike right there. So where did we spike to on the 30-minute time frame? The top end of the new zig zone. Okay, markets go up, they zig. Markets go down, they zag. So that's your new resistance range. Cool. And that's where we found exact resistance as well. We spiked to it. Cool. So if we close over, where are we? $49.12. I know I'm getting a little bit very intraday kind of stuff here. It doesn't matter on the longer term. But out of interest, if you're wanting to know when we could break 50, if it breaks and holds that $49.10, $49.12 and holds above that, then that means you're out of the expected resistance zone because, that's That's strong, strong resistance. Neutral resistance. That's weak resistance. That's a good thing. You want weak resistance, preferably. We've seen it once. If you get back out of there, then I'll just say, okay, we're probably going to go to $50 the next time. Or it might be like, $49.80, but we'll get really, really close. Cool. Looking good, guys. Tell me how you're feeling in the comments. I feel good. I feel elated. We're getting up there. Watch your feelings, as we've spoken about before. So there'll be many people who might be getting into the metals very first time today. They'll be, well, because, there's always buying and selling going on, except when the market's closed. You'll probably have new buyers coming in today. So just be aware. Okay, how are you feeling about it? Just it'll be good. It'll be a good time. I'm feeling good. Just be aware of your feelings at the same time. Don't be surprised of, don't expect it, but don't be surprised of, a dip from around here-ish. Cool. With that daily spike, okay. But onwards and upwards over the longer term, looking fantastic, as you know. Okay. It's going to break $50 eventually, whether that's today or tomorrow or next week or next month, who knows. It will break. We'll go to $100 US silver eventually down the track. I think that's probably next year. Looks probably good, I'd say. For $100 silver, that's my guess. Yeah, looking great. 45-year cup and handle for the win. Okay, $700 US silver in 10 to 20 years' time. I think that's no problem. Other people disagree. That's okay. You're welcome to. Yeah, let's do we'll take a look at gold. Actually, what I'll quickly do, I'll quickly just check. Any more comments here? Yes, here we go. GMS. Morning, everyone. Is this the group where that guy, Neil, bangs on about playing platinum? I should have listened to Neil. Everyone should have listened to Neil earlier on. All listened to me. I mean, I was talking about platinum when, it was under. I've been talking about platinum for, it was like, $900. Remember that? Remember the best buy zone? Remember the best buy zone, which was from $900 anywhere down to $750. And what did we hit? Bang on $900. Remember that? And Neil, right here, my wish is that a lot of people got some platinum in the there you go, in the $900 range. Yeah, there you go. We were both talking about it, weren't we? Let's see. Overbought RSI, exactly right. Grubbs says overbought RSI can stay overbought, baby. It can stay overbought for a decent period of time too. Exactly. So don't get frightened when something goes into an overbought territory, particularly on the larger time scales, your dailies, your weeklies, your monthlies. They can be there for ages. On your 1 minute, your 15 minute, your 1 hour, obviously they don't stay for that long. Okay, but your dailies, you can stay days and days and days in overbought. You can spend weeks and months even, in the higher time frames in overbought. So don't be afraid of that. It's actually it's a good signal, right, that you're getting into that overbought territory. It means you can have higher pumps. Let's see. Good morning, everyone, says Van Look. My feeling, Luke says, I'm happy. Finally getting messages saying, okay, interesting. Finally getting messages. Did someone just downvote? Or was that an upvote? Finally getting messages saying, I should have listened to you to buy silver when it was below $30. Yeah. And not being called an idiot. Exactly right. We shall all be proven. Absolutely correct. Morning, all this daylight savings is stuffing me up. Yes, it is. I can't go a little bit later. Let me fix that lighting. I can't go later than that. We will be talking about, I washed out too. Yeah. We shall be talking about TOSHI. We'll be talking about Bitcoin and crypto, but I'm going to get through not quickly. We talk about precious metals here as well at Good Morning Stackers. Here is gold on the 4-hour time frame. Sure. $4,000. So we're over $4,000 US. Cool. That's good to see. Looks like we're heading back down for a little bit, possibly on the 4-hour time frame. Looks like we're ticking over it for a little bit on the relative strength index and the volume. The volume's good, but just the RSI is a little bit overbought on the 4-hour and looks like might be experiencing a little bit more of a dip. Let's have a look here from this low and this high. Anywhere in this zone would be completely normal. Okay, this is completely normal and you wouldn't freak out about it at all. Not saying it's going here, but yeah, anywhere between 3965 to 3910, cool. And an ultimate really massively bullish bounce would be if you bounced off here at the $4,000 mark and then do that. That's like very strong support. Cool. So just watch out for that. That's gold. Gold junior miners still doing really well. It took a little bit of stock talk. Junior miners still doing fantastic. So this is the GDXJ, meaning the gold miners index, junior gold miners index. Yeah, cool. It has not even, we're on logarithmic. Yes, we are. Hasn't broken an all-time high. Okay, we're at some key resistance there at the 0.786 Fibonacci. Got a while to go even to the all-time high. I've got a little note in here that says when this tops, it signals the top of gold spot price. But I don't mean when it tops here. I mean wherever it tops, higher and higher. If it starts breaking market structure, if it starts showing, all the indicators are showing, okay, looks like the top of the junior gold miners market. Okay, and that could be a long way away. But that would signal the top of the general gold market, okay, the top of gold cycle, really, because you start off with gold spot, then you get into the large cap miners, the producers, then you get into the explorers and the real junior cap ones. It's like, again, it's like altcoins, Bitcoin, then you go into Ethereum, then you go into your major large cap altcoins, and then you go into your nano, your meme coins and your nano micro caps. And that's usually the signal of the major Bitcoin crypto cycle end, right? Same thing, GDXJ. So just watch that, but you got a long way to go for GDXJ. Cool, that's gold. That's all I have to say. Might be a little bit toppy at the moment. Platinum. Speaking of, here is platinum, $1,647. Okay, watch out for the $1,700 mark. Right there, 1,702 specifically from this high and this low on the logarithmic scale. We are through the zag zone, which is great. So platinum's just going to move onwards and upwards. Okay, it's looking absolutely goddamn fantastic. Pardon my French. But yeah, we've gone through the zag zone from this high and this low. That's great. Just watch out for the 0.786. It's a little area of resistance there, so around about $1,700. We might need to see what it's doing at around about that time. Yeah, maybe a little bit more of a dip. Okay, you can see here, similar to silver, higher highs, lower highs on the relative strength index. Volume's still pretty good though. That is kind of rising. So yeah. Looking good though for platinum over the longer term. We will break the all-time high in platinum. It's going to come. And then look, we're talking, I can see $5,000 platinum easy per ounce in this next run for sure. I want to show you copper very quickly. Here is copper on the daily time frame, priced in USD, $5.10. So we're at that key crucial level that I keep talking about. All right, that $5.10 level, that's at the 0.5 Fibonacci. We just need to get through $5.30, and then we will be looking really good. It's pretty smooth sailing after $5.30. So you can see pretty clearly if I pop in that there. Look at that. Right about there. See, it goes through that previous high-ish, bit of a spike, but a cluster there, and here. So get through there, you're pretty good. But I'd say really, yeah, clearing that for $5.30, looking really good. So that'll be great for your copper miners. So if you know any copper mining stocks that I'm not in, that I've never mentioned before, let me know. One of them would be the COPX, which is the Copper Miners Index on the NASDAQ. Now that has broken an all-time high. So new all-time high territory for the COPX, okay? Copper hasn't broken its all-time, well, it made a new all-time high, then it came back, but the COPX, Major Copper Miners Index, is making all-time highs right now, okay? So that's one to keep an eye on, and there's plenty of others. When the market opens in about 7 minutes, I'll double check what all my stuff has done, including all the silver and gold and copper miners that I'm currently in. Cool, we'll take a look at that. Yeah, anything else happening? Gold to silver ratio is actually something I want to show you. Remember I talked about this little zone right here, and we'll pop into it. I've had this little purple zone in here drawn in, do you remember, for like a really long time. And I said it was going to be a big area of support. Remember that? And I called it something like, silver breaks here. Yeah, Below here confirms silver's long-term dominance, or below here confirms long-term silver dominance versus gold. Okay, and where did we find basically exact support? So silver has been dominating gold, and we've come down bang pretty much on it at 80.5 on the ratio. Cool. Yeah. So if it remains above there, then gold may continue, just outperforming silver for a little bit. But once it breaks and holds through there, that's still the kicker for me, right? Break and hold through there, break down, do that. Then you're looking really good for silver to continue its run against gold, okay? And then we're talking like silver's final trapdoor, which is at the 70 mark, 72 roughly. And then we'll talk about getting back into the kind of the old school normal range for the gold to silver ratio, which is somewhere between 50 to 70 roughly. You can see it's mainly the normal range with a bit of outlying every now and then, okay? 2003, 2008, of course, the peak of silver in 2011 where we hit 1 to 32. And then it kind of went into this big sort of newer normal range. But if we get back into this range, then I can expect, probably bare minimum a test of 50 to 1. 1 to 50 on the gold to silver ratio, I could see easy over the longer term. Okay, that'd be the bottom end of that normal range. I'd expect a lot of probably swapping for gold at around about that 50 level. And this is your outliers. So when silver goes absolutely hog wild, which it will eventually against gold, I believe it will break the 50 ratio at some point. Could come back down to that 30. Some people think and believe that gold silver ratio can go as low as 1-to-1 parity. I mean, it's never done it before, but yeah, just watch out for the 50 is a good level. Okay, gold to silver ratio. Final comments, and then not final comments, but more comments, and then we shall really washed out here. Then we will talk Bitcoin and crypto. Let us see. Yes, I do agree with that. You're about to say that, Gerald. Let's see. Gerald says, don't eat yellow snow. Okay, we're talking about crypto here. Yes, Neil, NNE. So I got into NNE. It's actually had a bit of a dip. Some news came out about nano nuclear energy, and then they sold on the news, which was annoying. It was something like a $400 million placement in something to buy new equipment, and then the price had a bit of a tank. Not a huge tank. Let me actually show you. Because I'm in uranium-based mining stocks. I'm also in NNE, which is nano nuclear energy. I'm very bullish on nuclear technology in the future, and NNE is one of the big players. Let me just show you what the price action did. And then we'll talk about Bitcoin and crypto. NNE, nano nuclear energy. Unfortunately, we had this kind of dip here. So here's nano nuclear energy listed on the NASDAQ. Okay, so it's a tech stock listed on the NASDAQ. And what it does, I'll read it for you. Nano nuclear energy is a microreactor and nuclear technology company which provides supply energy services. Its products in technical development are Zeus, a solid core battery reactor, and Odin, a low-pressure coolant reactor. So this is new nuclear. This is generation 4 nuclear, okay? They don't melt down. They can't melt down. They don't have a possibility of melting down all the new nuclear. And so they're incredibly safe and all that. So, so it had this spike right up to previous resistance right there. You can see there. And then that news came out. And now we're kind of back down to where my entry price is. But here's some good news. We've come down pretty quickly and we've almost reset on the 4 hour. And I'd actually say we're pretty much reset on the 1 hour. So look, breakout, resistance here, breakout, resistance becomes support, probably more likely onwards and upwards rather than a massive tank in the price. Okay, that little news of the $400 million placement was probably, again, just a sell on the news. Traders probably thought, we're actually at a new all-time high, which it was too, new all-time high at $60 US. Some news has come out. We're overbought on the 4 hour time frame or the daily time frame. Yeah, even the daily time frame. You can see double overbought, right? So like a double top there on the RSI. The news came out, so traders have gone, all right, I'll just sell on the news. So there has been some profit taking. That's fine, good. What I do not want to see it do is break any lower than, that's where my stop loss is, at 37.50. Do not break below 37.50 because then that will be a change into bearish market structure, okay? Because now instead of making higher highs and higher lows on the daily time frame, you'd be making a lower high, and that's a bearish change of market structure. So we don't want that. So just watch out for 37.50. Otherwise, looking good, I think, over the longer term. That's NNE. Let's go to Bitcoin and crypto. You've been very patient, my Bitcoin and crypto people. I appreciate it. Let's go. Actually, before we do, I'll just tell you, buy from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, best bullion dealer in all of Australia. Free shipping when you have 20 or more items in your shopping cart. What other bullion business gives you free shipping? I dare you to find one. Let's take a look. I'm going to start with TOSHI, actually, because I am back in. Hopefully, it's going to do me well. Haha, yes. All right, my funky people. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do something very quick. Can you head over to x.com/itsjoemain for me? I'd really appreciate that. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. Give me 1 moment. TOSHI, you can't see what I'm doing here. TOSHI, base, official, talking, TOSHI right now. Raid, please, fam. There we go. Raid, please. Yep, good. So that's there. Fantastic. Good. Excellent. Let's go back. Yeah. All right. Here is TOSHI on the daily time frame, priced in USD. 00. We're not talking triple zeros anymore. I am back in TOSHI as of right now, as I promised I would be if we got over certain levels that I had to see personally. Let me explain that very quickly. If you're new to me and you're just seeing my stuff for the first time in relation to TOSHI and Bitcoin and crypto and stuff, I've been in TOSHI, the meme coin of base chain, since the very first contract a couple of years ago. So I didn't get in. I don't think I got in on the. I didn't get on the launch, but I got in on the first contract. There's been 2 contract migrations since then, from like a couple. It's actually nearly 3 years ago, I think. Now, so I've ridden the TOSHI wave. Big rah TOSHI meme coin guy, loved it, great community. I got listed on Coinbase, and then I sold some, not at the top. Okay, I didn't get out at the top or anything like that. I'm not the perfect guy, but you know, I did sell out a bit, right? And then I've been looking for the right time to get back in. I knew we would have a massive dip after we launched on Coinbase. It always makes sense. That's pretty much what happens most of the time, not every time, most of the time. Big dip all the way back down to like 0002. Okay, then we've just been faffing around for a while. Okay, from this high and this low right here, the big kicker on the logarithmic was here at 9495. So 0094, 0095. I actually did get back in a little bit earlier. When we had this break of 7.5, there was a reason, it was a Fibonacci from this high and this low. So I got back in, and I told everyone I got back in. Then I was noticing some bearish divergence. Okay, so we noticed some bearish divergence where we had higher highs, but then a lower high on the relative strength index. Okay, I was like, something's going on here. I don't think the momentum is going to continue, but I held on to it just to see. Just to wait until we had a break of market structure. Now, what I mean by a break of market structure is if we start making lower highs on a major time frame, okay, or so a lower high and a lower low. Okay, so what we started doing was we broke there, then we come up to there, was at 8.4. Then we made this low here. Now I was like, okay, that's cool. You're back at kind of previous major support right there. Then we made we made a lower high. I'm like, that's not great, okay? But I did say to everyone, I will get out of TOSHI if we start breaking through there, because then you're making a lower high, but then a lower low. That's a bearish change of market structure. And I said, okay, I'll be getting out on the data, and let's see what happens, because I don't know what's going to happen. Do we just tank forever? Where's crypto going to go? I don't know. You're going to go way, way lower. Okay, so I said, I'm out of TOSHI. Some people said, how dare you get out of TOSHI, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, I follow data. Okay, then we faffed around for a bit here. And I said, I've really got to see it climb at least back above here in order and stay above here for any kind of decent period of time for me to say, okay, I'm back in. So get back out of the resistance range, right? We had this spike up. I wanted to see what happened. Okay, then we closed on the daily time frame. That was good. I wanted to wait a little bit more. Then we had another break back down. I was like, I can't get in. On my rules, we've had a break back down through support or resistance. Support has once again become resistance. So I was like, nah. And then what did we do? BitGet, one of the largest Asian exchanges, launched TOSHI on their platform, and then we had a huge spike, a huge pump, a huge buy on the news. Okay, and many other people went, ha ha ha, you suck, bro, you got out of TOSHI, but now we've listed on BitGet, it's onwards and upwards from here. And I said, okay, cool, just wait, just chill, because on news, that's a pump. I said, yeah, okay, just hold on, people, because you're probably going to have a decent dip again. And we had a decent dip again. Okay, now where did we find support? This is very interesting. From this high and this low. This is why Fibonacci is the total king. Okay, Fibonacci for the win. From this high and this low, we found support at the 0.5 Fibonacci right there. Now I said, this is interesting. I said this on 2 time frames, actually. I said, it's actually based on here. See this little rectangle? From this high and this low, I said, oh, you son of a bee. From this high and this low, I said, great, that's good. I need to see it clear and hold through 9495. We spiked up to there. It didn't clear it. I can't get in yet. We had a little bit of a dip. Can't get in yet. Overnight, when I woke up this morning, we had cleared and we have now held. Okay, at least we're probably going to close the day above unless we don't. We're about to tick over to the new day, new trading day on the UTC time in about 54 minutes. Okay, very likely we don't spike all the way down. I hope we don't. But I have taken a position around about here-ish, okay, on the breakthrough, the 0.618 Fibonacci from this high and this low, which also happens to be lined up basically exactly with the macro 618. So look at that, 618 and 618. So it's perfect confluence. This is looking a little detailed. Sorry, let me get rid of all of that. And I'll get rid of that as well. So now there's 2 reasons for me to get in. Okay. Now we've had a clear breakthrough and so far a hold. So we've had a breakthrough, a retest, and now a second breakthrough, and it's holding so far of the 0.618. So from this high and this low, you can expect resistance anywhere from 1/3 to 2/3 of that move. Okay, now we're through the 2/3 mark. It's looking very strong. Okay, TOSHI looking very strong right now. That is why I am back in. Congratulations to me. Congratulations to everyone. Let's see where we can potentially move up to. I have an alert here set at 00145 roughly. That's the 0.786 from this high and this low. I am expecting some kind of resistance there. I've just got the alert on. Doesn't mean I'm selling there at all. I'm going to ride this now for until it tells me I shouldn't. Okay. If we start creeping back into this zone, it's pretty quick. I'll tell you what. If we start creeping back into this 9.5 zone here, I'll start to get concerned again because, like, well, okay, we broke out once. That was on news. Okay, so that's like a pump and a dump as such. Not a nasty pump and dump, but it's buy on news and then people take some profits. I knew that was coming, right? We found support. Now we've broken out again. The question becomes, why aren't people, if it gets back down into this area and buyers are not stepping in here at about 9.596, the question becomes, why aren't they? They should be now. Now they are, but if they don't remain, if there's no buying pressure around about here and it falls back into this range, I'm really skeptical as to why this happened. Okay, so far it's looking good. I don't see any news particularly that's pumping the price. I think it's now just good old normal market forces doing their thing. great news for Toshi. So I'm in. I'm going to ride this baby, I don't know, until, who knows, we could break the all-time high. Now what I'm watching for, I'm watching for a break back into there. If we start spending time in there, I'm probably just going to cut my losses. Well, it'll be a very small loss, okay? Because I don't like that getting back into there. If we start creeping higher and higher, I'm not really going to have any kind of sell point until I see a bearish change of market structure, bare minimum on the daily time frame. What I mean by that is we just start making higher highs, higher lows, whatever. You can come back there. That's a higher high. That's a higher low. Break the all-time high. Sure, let's go there. Watch out for the all-time high. You got to be careful of double tops. I'll tell you. I will keep you informed, watching indicators and all that kind of stuff. But we can creep higher and higher. Pick a point, right? Higher highs, higher lows. It's not until we do the following, where we make a higher high, then a lower high, then a lower low. If we do that, that is my chain. That is my signal to get out of the market on the daily time frame. I'd probably want to watch the weekly for that more likely, but on crypto, because it's 24 hours and there's no breaks, there's no trading halts, okay, like you do with stocks, etc. I'd probably be watching it on the daily. Yeah, so this thing could go. Hey, keep going. As long as it's making higher highs and higher lows, sky's the bloody limit. I don't care where it goes to. I'm going to ride it until it does that. Then I'm getting out. And then I'll see what happens. Maybe it just dips down and then takes another move and then onwards and upwards. Sure. But a bearish change of market structure is the only reason I'm getting out, or a break back down into and a hovering down this general blue box area. It's like, why is it doing that? If it's not breaking out of there again, quick, smart, I'm like, why aren't they buying here? Then I'll probably get out. So I'm back in Toshi, the meme coin of base chain, the greatest community. Love you guys. And it's looking great for the moment. Just hawking it, just watching it, just see what happens. But so far, so good. Hey, I'm in profit. Great. Let me know in the comments if you are back in Toshi, if you've still been in Toshi and all that. That's enough Toshi talk. Okay, let's go to Bitcoin and crypto. I'm just going to quickly check, however. Couple of things. I'm going to go back here. Any Toshi talks? Let's see. PG, are we thinking pullback on gold arriving? Possibly not yet. We did talk about that in the first part of the show. Cool. Cool. I'm just going to check something. Give me a moment to see what. We'll get to Bitcoin and crypto. And I'll check what the silver price has done as well. Let me just check something. How's the market opened? Okay, so the market is down a bit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a couple of things have opened higher. That's good to see. But yeah, okay, my market portfolio is around about the same as it was from yesterday. Let's take a look. Where am I, Joe? Where are you, Joe? There you are, right here. Let's see. Okay, let's start that again. What's the thing that's gone up the highest so far? Whoa, okay, STK has had a 40% move. Okay, here's some stuff that I'm in. The market is open. Let's see what's happened. Okay, STK, Strickland Metals, is up 42% for the day so far. 42% spike. That's good to see. I have a very small position in that. It's one of the small caps that I'm in. PGM, Platina Resources Limited, that's 12.5% up. FME, looking good. Future Metals, nice. That's looking like it's about to break out further. FLG, CPN, CHN, Chalice Mining, SBSW had a nice little move. That's the Sibanye Stillwater. Let's see the laggers. Anything that's had a bit of a dip. Ooh. Okay. I think I may have just got stopped out on one of my things. Yeah, I think I've probably just been stopped out on something. That's fine because there was a capital raise coming for PUR. All right. Nano Nuclear Energy went down, Basin Energy. But other than that, looks like just PUR has had a bit of a dip. Okay. And then I'm going to get to Bitcoin and crypto. Give me 1 second. I need to check something. PUR. Am I still in? Or did I get out? It's still there. What? Why is it still there? No, I should be out of that by now. Why is it not out of there? Okay, whatever. I had a trigger, I had a stop loss trigger on there. Okay, whatever. I'll come back to that. No, I will not. Give me 1 second. Where's that? 83. No, actually, I will come back to that. Cool. Let's go to Bitcoin and crypto. TOSHI. Look at that. It's still going, man. It's still going. Excellent. I like it when I get stuff right. Let's see. Here is Bitcoin on the daily time frame, price in USD, 123,170. Cool. Hovering around previous resistance. That's fine. Cool. We had that move. Nothing's saying we're in bullish territory at the moment, so nothing's saying massively bearish at the moment. We're making higher highs and higher lows on the daily time frame. Great. We were in a bit of accumulation here. Okay, now we're making higher highs. New all-time high, 100 and whatever that was, 126,400. Fantastic. We just got to get out of that range. That's all. Just get back out of this area here, and then, yeah, you're looking great. Cool. Clear the previous all-time high, which was the 124,000 something, and then, yeah, looking great. And we'll talk about higher prices. Higher prices. Let's talk about those, I guess. Where can we go to? Kind of price discovery, sky's the limit. I mean, you kind of really just want to... You'll want to be looking at your indicators, okay, seeing how the momentum, the volume is going, okay. So do bear in mind. What I will say is we are in the excess phase currently of the crypto market, of this current cycle, okay. So we are in the excess phase as far as I can tell. What do I mean by that? Let me go back for you. You. And that little dot there is $200,000, in which the COO, Chief Operating Officer of Stormrake, Stormrake.com, your full service cryptocurrency brokerage, get 2% brokerage fees for life when you sign up with my account, believes that $200,000 Bitcoin in 2025 is doable. Okay, so he reckons that's still doable. Sort of 180 to 220, but sort of that $200,000 range. But yeah, it's looking like a bit excessy at the moment. And why was I? Yeah, cool, because you've got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of market. So you've got that sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, we don't know where this can go to, but you are looking like you're in the excess phase of the Bitcoin cycle. And we're coming up towards the end of the 4-year cycle as well. A lot of psychology around that. So you can certainly creep up much higher. Yeah, you can get way higher, 140, 150, possibly even 200,000 in an excess phase sort of blow off top. And this is on a linear scale. Okay, but what I'm talking about here, markets go through 3 main cycles. Okay, you've got an accumulation range. That's a pretty big accumulation range, but yeah, accumulation. Okay, so 5 waves, 3 waves up, 2 waves back. Some people might call that the first wave, but accumulation, public participation. Okay, this makes the most sense to me, and I'll tell you why. Public participation. And then we're currently in the excess phase. We just don't know where that finishes, okay? But do know you're very likely, and you are in the excess phase of the current Bitcoin market cycle, okay? All markets do it. Here is where it was last time, okay? That was accumulation. I won't put in all the things. You can just see it. Public participation, and that was your excess. Again, this is on the linear scale, okay? And then when we punch back in, it would happen here, here, and here. That's where we are now. Now, why do I think that this was the accumulation range? Because people aren't really going crazy talking about it until it breaks its previous all-time high. So this is all the accumulation. We had the bottom of 16,000, the final break of the previous all-time high of 69,000. We got to 73,000. Then we had that move. So that's your wave 2. Then when it creeps back here, then the public goes, oh crap, we got to the all-time high, we just broke it. Well, no, we're back down again, guys. See, it's all over. Oh no, we're broken again. That's the public participation phase, which drives it up into the wave 3. Then you have a bit of a top there. And then this is the excess phase now. People are getting euphoric-ish for Bitcoin at the moment. I guess the sentiment isn't Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. Where are we? Crypto Greed and Fear Index. We're at 60, so we're nowhere near the kind of 70s and 80s, 90s kind of area where you kind of need to be for a major top. Yep, we're not there. Okay, so watch the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index as I show you this on the other panel. That panel is the one I want to show you on. Okay, so we're not there yet. So you've got room to move with Bitcoin, but just do know you're in the excess phase. It will top out some point. Could it be at that $200,000 mark that Bisha from Stormrake talks about? Yeah, quite possibly, but it's happening very soon, okay? We're not probably going to get into 2026, or we're not going to get into a large portion of 2026 and still be making higher highs for Bitcoin. No later than the first half of next year, possibly in the next few months. The normal Bitcoin cycle top is kind of around about this time now. Around about November, December is your major Bitcoin cycle top for the 4-year one, but it could extend into 2026. I don't think any longer than the first half of 2026. All right, so you will have that excess, but it can pump higher. Okay, just be aware though where you are in the market phase, and also be aware that when Bitcoin in general, crypto is in the excess phase, something else is currently, some other asset class is in its accumulation phase and about to break out. Okay, just be aware of that. But looking good for a further pump, I think, at this stage. Let me pop on the logarithmic. Yup. Let's see, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is still faffing around this kind of 59% area. Altcoins won't go hog wild until it breaks that 57% area that we've spoken about. Do that, break through there, golden. Okay. However, you're going to have things like TOSHI, which are breaking out. A couple of things are also doing all right. Let's take a look at Ethereum. I did not get into the Ethereum trade, which I said I might do because it hasn't broken and held that 4,700, 4,800-ish mark kind of there. We broke that 4,500, but I just got to see it do that, and then I'll be more confident. Still looking good for crypto over the longer term, but it's been in a massive accumulation range since 2021. We flirted with it. Little dip down, great. Now let's just break through there on good volume. Okay, the volume needs to come in too. All right, so if we break on the volume, this is the on-balance volume. You need to see volume confirming price action. Okay, so if you do this, break through there, break through there, break through there, volume is confirming the move. Happy to take a position in ETH. Okay, but I'd probably be looking for altcoins for a better a better reward. More risk, but better reward. Okay, so some of those altcoins might be. Let's take a look. I'll take a look at the others market quickly. Here's the others market. Yeah, nothing 100% saying total crypto time just yet. I need to see it break and hold 360 billion. We're just kind of creeping up here. Okay, so just still be weary. I've taken that TOSHI position on the individual one because it looks good itself, but I'm not full bull all crypto just yet. Okay, so yeah, 360 and then go time. Okay, but yeah, you can easily creep up to just do this kind of thing. It's been doing it. Look at this, little creeps, down, up, down, up, down. It can do this for a bit, then creep, and then hit that 360 and then have it move down, right? You need to see that hold and break. Okay, break and hold it, I mean. Cool. Yeah, because others dominance is still not where we need it to be. It needs to break and hold out of that area there, that 8.75%. Do that. Oh, great. Okay, do this. Even better. Do that 10% right there. Break through that downtrend line. See that? that's absolutely golden for your altcoins. Okay, let's see. TOSHI's still going. Someone mentioned ZBCN, so I will quickly mention it. Here is ZBCN. This is ZBCN on the weekly time frame price in USD 0045. Still mucking around. See how it's just flirting with it? The zag zone from this high and this low, you've got the expected resistance range. It acted as support. That was good. Thought we would break up? No, there was bearish divergence right there on the RSI. The volume probably, I can't see the volume. And then we found exact support at the bottom end of the zag zone. We've broken through, but it has been a false move so far. Quicker move down into here. I don't want to see it spend time in here. Okay, don't do that. Okay, stay above there, and then I'll be confident that we'll see a new all-time high for ZBCN. So far, I cannot say as a trader that I can get back into ZBCN just yet. It was looking good there. We closed the day, but then it's back down. So just watch out for that. At the 0047 kind of mark, decisive break, decisive hold, and yeah, then you'd be looking really good. And I'll say new all-time high coming for ZBCN. One of my regular subscriber watchers' favorites. Cool. Here is XRP, the crossover crypto on the daily time frame, USD $2.90. If there's any other chart requests for crypto, let me know right now and I'll take a quick look. What are we looking at? Yeah, it's still faffing around. Once again, from this high and this low, got to clear through there at the $3.25 mark, $3.30 mark. Until then, can't tell you. Don't know. That is the sign of strength. Just like I showed you with TOSHI. Once it broke through there for that second time, it's holding it still. Okay, so I'm happy to get into TOSHI when it breaks through there. I will consider XRP if it starts breaking and holding through $3.25, $3.30. Is it probably going to be doing that? Maybe more likely than not, but I don't follow. I follow data. I don't follow wishes and wants. Okay, so XRP. Got to see it cross through there. Cool. Anything else? Probably not. Let me go back to... Let me just quickly check on TOSHI one more time to see where we're sitting at. Oh, yeah, we're pumping. Okay, now we're at 00106. Okay. So we're up a little bit for the day. This is good to see. Okay, this is why you get in on data and you get out on data, right? Break of there, now I'm back in. It's broken through there. It's broken through the zag zone. Okay, so now that's looking nice. This could be setting up for something. Maybe some people know something that we don't. I don't know. Many people talk about a Binance listing, all that kind of stuff. It is actually now, I realized it's now listed on Binance. It's called Binance something. What's it called? Binance something? Binance Futures? It is, but it's not listed as Binance spot price. Just regular, one. So... could be coming. You never know. On a Binance listing, geez, I could see that having a nice little pump. Yes, that is pretty much it for all of the crypto stuff as well, unless there are any chart requests as well. And I'm also going to really highly ask you, please and thank you, can you head over to Stormrake, stormrake.com. It's a full-service cryptocurrency brokerage. You get full-service cryptocurrency brokerage, just like you call your old school stockbroker. Give them a call, send them an email, pop in their live chat. You say, hey, I have an account with you guys. It's account number blah, blah, blah. Please buy me X amount of X coin, and they do it all for you. Okay, now they charge a fee, obviously, because they're doing it all for you. You're not pushing any buttons. You're speaking to a dedicated broker who will give you their opinion as well. Hey, what's good in crypto today? Where are we in the crypto market? How high do you think Bitcoin can go? You are their client. You've got a dedicated manager, right? You call your guy or girl and go, hey, bro, it's been a couple of weeks. I want some more crypto. And they go, yeah, cool. What looks good? Well, here's this, what meme coins are you in? I'm in this meme coin, right? Let them help them guide you. Or if you want to just tell them what to do, they'll do it for you. Why would you want access to a full service cryptocurrency brokerage, you want really deep liquidity. Okay, when buying a lot, you don't want to jack up your average market buy price. Okay, if you're buying in your self-managed super, for example, or whatever, right? Particularly when it comes to being a crypto gajillionaire down the track, you need access to deep liquidity to sell out quickly if you need to. And then it doesn't tank your average sellout price. Okay, so you want access to deep liquidity. That's why you do it as a crypto native. And obviously, if you're a crypto newbie, just get someone else to do it for you. Okay, it's so easy. And also, very cheap too. They charge you a 3% brokerage fee. It's only 3%. That's slightly higher than the then the kind of like still the do-it-yourself things like Coinbase, CoinSpot, and all those other ones. They still charge like 1.75, 2%, something like that, plus their hidden spread fees that they don't tell you about. However, Stormrake.com don't have any hidden spread fees. They just charge a flat fee of 3%. But when you sign up through me, using this link below, I'll put it somewhere, or you can, copy paste and all that kind of stuff. Eyeball that and just pop it in the address bar of your favorite browser. It takes you to the same sign-up page, but in the address bar, you'll see the word Good Morning Stackers. That means you've got my referral link. You get 2% brokerage fees for the life of the account. Grandfathered in when they raise their fees eventually down the track. If they do, you've remained at 2% for the life of the account. Okay, this is great for you as a crypto native. This is great for you as a crypto newbie. Also, as a crypto native, send this to your friends and family who are going to be bugging the ever-loving hell out of you to get into crypto if when the time comes that crypto is going through the moon. Okay, Stormrake.com. Final comments, and then we shall get out of here. Are we thinking of a pullback on gold arriving? Let's take a look at gold. What have we done? Oh, yeah, it's still pumping. Gold. Yeah, it's having a bit more of a dip now. Let's go back maybe finally to the gold prices, and we'll take a look at silver as well. We'll sort of finalize with that. If there's any chart requests, let me know. Let me get rid of that and go back to here. Yeah, gold's having a bit more of a dip now. This, again, don't stress. You can get into this anywhere in this area, that box area kind of there, and that's really normal from that low and that high. So just, it's gone up for a bit, okay, and then it might go down for a bit. Then it might continue going up for a bit. Silver, okay, before we end the show, well, we haven't hit $50 for the end of the day. Dang, okay. Dang it, so we're back down in this area. I'd preferably not want to see that previous resistance break through there. I preferably don't want to see that $48.70 broken, so we're kind of around there at the moment. Not preferable. That would kind of say, oh, okay, maybe a larger dip is happening. Now, I actually will say, let's see, that's from that high and that low. Okay, so now if I go like this, give me a second. Let me go back to there and go back to there. Where are we? The old fib from this low and this high is on the 1 hour time frame, okay? Yeah, so we broke through the zag zone. So yeah, cool. You can still get back into this area, so don't stress. We had a perfect touch. Again, as I said before at the start of the show, perfect touch of $48.40. You can get anywhere down into the zag zone again. I mean, it's not preferable that you bounce out of it, then go back in. The question, as I said before with TOSHI and all the others, the question always becomes, after you break out of major resistance, okay, why aren't the buyers stepping in this general area? And you can see this little cluster right here as well. That was kind of the favorable zone, the mini zone of the zag zone. Okay, you can get down into here to fake people out, but really here is where you wanted to step in. Now they have stepped in. The question is, if you're coming back down into here again, why? The buyers should be stepping in at the top end right here. Okay, the buyers really should be stepping in there. If they don't step in here and you start going down to here, it's like, oh, okay, so we're now through this, getting back down into this cluster. If they don't buy off here at $48.15, then you're really going, oh shit, they're not buying off there now. That would be a big signal for me to say, okay, looks like the mini top is in, not the top for silver at all, but the expected resistance for silver, $50, third time in history that we've been at $50. breaking $48.15 and holding below it, we'd say, okay, we're now going to be retracing a larger move. And then we'd be talking about this kind of larger move here, anywhere down into that kind of zone. And then if that fails to hold, then we'd be talking about an even larger move. So yeah, $48.15 is a kicker for me. So let's watch out for that. $48.15 is the level. The big no lower than that, please. Otherwise, we are doing I guess we're just going to find a few weeks or possibly longer of resistance at the $50 mark. So watch, the 48.15 level, pretty key for me. Cool. That's silver again. Final comments and we'll get out of here. Gerald says micronuclear portable units can run a city, for about 7 years for about the size of a small camper or six-wheel truck. New nuclear, amazing. And nano nuclear and Oklo. I think Oklo was the portable ones, amazing. But other applications being produced while others talk. Exactly right. I love nano nuclear energy. Let's see. Yes, that's right. So, Gerald, when we talked about ZBEC network, it's a sports instant payment betting. Oh, no. So sports instant payment betting coming through ZBEC. Okay, so there's the utility there for ZBCN. There is no KYC. There will be no KYC. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Hello, Silver Jim. Let's see. And instant payment is really good. Yeah, I shall. FLR, please, Joe. If now, fine. If later, fine. As long as it's on your radar. Flare network, okay. Someone told me to buy shares in TOK. Ooh, TOK. Tolu yesterday, but looks like it's just had a big spike. Okay. Someone told you to buy into TOK. I'll take a look at it now because it just had a big spike. Because they're probably a retail investor rather than getting in your accumulation like your smart buyers. Let me have a look though. I'm not going to insult your person. Let me have a quick look. TOK, sure. TOK. Tolu Minerals on. Oh yeah, Jesus. Okay. All right. Cool. Here is TOK. Tolu Minerals Limited on the Australian Stock Exchange. What does it do? It's at $1.50 Australian. Tolu Minerals engages in the acquisition and development of the Tolukuma project in the blah 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 district of Papua New Guinea and the development of the blah 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 on the island of blah blah blah. Okay, minerals? What kind of minerals? Was it TOK? TOK? New query. What minerals does TOK Tolu explore? Okay, gold, silver, copper. Great. Because if it had been like rare earth metals, that's a slightly different thing. Okay, so all right, let's say gold, silver, and copper. Explores for gold, silver, and copper deposits in Papua New Guinea. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Let's see its price. It's recently pumped, and that's why your friend is telling you to get into it, because it's recently pumped. And unfortunately, they are probably a retail investor that's at some kind of let's have a look at the things here. Oh yeah, okay. So you're pretty peaky. So that's how you know. You have to know, are they a keen investor in things? What do they do for a living? Are they a full-time investor? Are they this and that? Have they studied things like, Dow theory, principles, and technical analysis foundations, which I'm doing with Mastering the Markets at the moment? So they're probably more a retail investor. And when they say, when late adopter retail investors say, oh, you got to get into this thing, do it now, you're like, let me just check the chart. So we've had a break here. So I wouldn't. It's late. It's too late. It's just too late. I'll tell you why it's too late. Here is your accumulation phase. Now, smart money, was getting in here. So this is back in November of 2024. This is your accumulation phase. Okay, we talked about them before. Remember, accumulation, public participation, excess. Now, there might be some good news for TOK. We're probably nowhere near. We're not in the excess phase. Okay. So, okay. Accumulation phase, it broke out, you would actually be wanting to buy on that breakout and probably the breakout and the retest. There's a couple of strategies you can do. You can buy on the breakout and buy there, like exactly. You got to be hawking it, right? You got to be watching this. You got to have your alerts set. You got to be kind of watching the markets every day. You're doing other things, but you've got your little alerts set, etc. You've got your account open to and with some spare cash to really snipe things. But on a break of there, that's when you would have gotten in. So that was your first chance on the break of roughly $1.06 or $1.07, right? Get in there. Great. Fantastic. Or some people even like get in on the breakout and then the retest. That's a good one to get on the retest. Now, if it gets back into that area, you can just take a really small stop loss. But if you're buying on the retest, the problem is you never know if that's just going to continue or if it is going to retest. So many people just like to do the breakout strategy. If it comes back down to here, just watch it and go, oh, if it falls back into this accumulation range, it's like, well, why aren't the buyers stepping in there? So either way, you can do it. Some people like to do the following where they go breakout, retest, and then they buy here. It's a little bit harder strategy because then you have to put your stop loss all the way down here. So it's not that much. Anyway, the short answer is it's broken out already. Now you're in the public participation phase. Now this can last for a long time, and this is a small cap miner. Yeah, it's smallish. It's 330 billion. You're still technically in your kind of large small cap, if that makes sense, right? It's not like your penny stocks. It's definitely not a penny stock, though. Okay. This probably has a lot of ways to go, assuming that the company does what they say they're going to do. They find deposits, all that stuff. You could see it really rocket higher. It's just if you're looking on the short term, I would say probably not the best time to bag right now. You're probably going to get some kind of retest. We're extremely overvalued on the daily time frame. Maybe watch for a little pullback. And what I would watch for is from this low and this high, anywhere into the zag zone, and the zag zone would be in between here and here. So right there, in between that $1.40. Why does that keep doing that to me? $1.40 to $1.30 area. Okay, so if it gets back into here, if it hits the top end of that for TOK, sure, you maybe want to take a position there. You might want to wait until there's a position there, but somewhere in there, and then it starts breaking out again, then yeah, okay, you could look at taking a position. But just bear in mind, you've had on the shorter term time frame. Okay, here we go. On the shorter term, you've probably had a little 5-wave move. Okay, so you've done this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're probably going to get an A, B, C into the zag zone. So that's likely what's going to happen. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mini accumulation, mini public participation, mini excess. Okay. Oh, we broke out. Let's go. And your friend is telling you to buy now. You're probably at the top of the excess phase on this little mini phase. You'll probably get something like that, and then it'll start the next move. And what that'll be is this will be that'll be, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then you got the larger 1. That's your 2. Then you'll be going into the public participation phase. Then you've got a wave 4, and then you've got your excess phase to go. Okay, so you can go much, much higher. It's just I wouldn't pop an entry here. Probably not. I'd wait for this kind of thing. That's just me. If you don't want to wait and because you know it's going to go much, much higher, sure. But yeah, it's looking a little short-term toppy. That's TOK for you. Mon? Was that Mon? Or was that for Vanessa? Let's see. That was for Mon. So there you go, Mon. That's my humble opinion on that. GMS says Chris Phipps. Morning, says Ben Ferrugia. What are we buying today? That's a good question. I'd like to know what you're buying today. Ben is one of my fellow. You're a master in the markets, aren't you, Ben? Yeah, you are. Mon says, aha, thanks, Joe. We'll just keep an eye on it for now. Cool. We are at an hour 15. So I think I kind of got to get out of here, people. We've talked precious metals. We've talked crypto. We've talked silver, nearly at $50. Almost there. We will have, and I promise you, when this happens, whatever day it's going to be, unless I'm away, and I can't do it, I'll probably do it anyway. on the day that you wake up in the morning, or if it happens during the day and we hit $50 silver, whenever that is, if I can get to a computer and I can go live, I will. So just bear in mind, if you're watching the price and if you wake up in the morning and it's $50, if you wake up in the morning and it's Australia and it's $50 silver, you know that day, 9:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, we're going to have a big $50 silver dance party. If it happens on an odd time, right, if I've already done a live show, but if in 8 hours from now it breaks $50, as soon as you know it breaks $50, come over to the channel because we're going to have $50 silver dance party time. All right? It's going to be great. Not if, but when we do that. Cool. Yeah, I've done all the plugs and I've done all that stuff. Finally, we do a synchronized slurp. Grab your tasty beverage. I've got mine. You've got yours. And we also dance it out to one of the Good Morning Stackers theme songs. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you have watched.
Good morning, Stack. Oh, yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, Stack. It's podcast time.
Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do that.
Synchronized slurp.
3, 2, 1,
Now
go.
we're on the move.
Oh, come on, Silver. Let's go.
Yeah, we're feeling
And Toshi too. Stay safe, stay informed. Keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and I will see you really soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.